Soon, their path began to overlap. Port activities began to grow, which meant more haulers came into the business. Still on that growth trajectory, industries clustered all too soon. Feeder businesses joined the fray, population surge boomed, and rapidly everything changed.
It's only in Apapa that you still have the trees. When you come into Apapa and you see the trees left, the shades provided by the trees, you feel happy. That's how it has been. And Apapa is the only place where blocks of flats are not springing up. Perhaps because the demand is low. And Apapa is a dead end. Nobody is going there. And that's the way we like it. But over time, there's little patronage. People are moving out. Investors are not happy to come in. Developments, we don't have new buildings coming up. And so it's just not what it used to be. It's far from what it used to be.
I have never seen anywhere in the world where you locate 14 tank farms in a small location, and was still a residential stroke industrial conurbation. I have never seen it happen anywhere in the world. In fact, what happened here in Apapa in terms of the unrestrained construction of petrol tank farms ranks very high as a reflection of the trouble with Nigeria. The ports in Apapa, or at least Tinkan, was built in the 70s. If you check the numbers, 70s, what kind of an economy were you dealing with then? True, we had the container, congestion under the Babangida regime, but you were talking about a much smaller economy. Now, it should have occurred to the federal government that what they needed to do was not just a mere concession of the ports. The ports, in terms of size and capacity, had become totally inadequate for the largest economy in Africa, as we then, were. But was still, you should ask yourself, what happened to the port in Calabar? What happened to the port in Port Harcourt? What happened to the port in Warri and Koko? Ineptitude on the part of the government, poor management of resources ensured that the drought, the access for vessels became dangerously low. And so container carrying vessels, or bearing vessels, could no longer go to those ports, and everybody came to Lagos. Many times on the way, you saw containers fell on cars, killed people inside, damaged cars, injured people. It became a common thing. So with those two, the unbridled construction of tank farms, the inadequacy of our ports, and the congestion that resulted meant that trouble was just waiting to happen in Apapa, and that's what we're seeing today.
The business prosperity individuals and the country gained in the case of revenues from the port became the bane of Apapa residential area. Indeed, gradually, Apapa lost her soul.
Over the years, more houses have become, Apapa has become empty. People have moved out. They refuse to renew their leases. They move to, even where they move to may not be better, may not be as good as Apapa, but just to escape the traffic snarl and all those other things I mentioned. So over time, a property used to be 4 million per annum. Nobody is taking it, even for years. On this street alone, which is a short street, you have maybe about 10 houses. Yeah, 10 properties are empty. And so on many other places in Apapa GRA. I'm not talking of the other side, the commercial side. Like Creek Road, which is now Olorogun Hebrew Way. Businesses have closed down. You can't even go on that road. Creek Road, what used to be Creek Road, which was later renamed Olorogun Michael Hebrew Way, links Apapa GRA to the port. Businesses there have closed down. Domino Pizza, they're not having patronage. Many businesses have closed down. We've lost a lot. Even Corona School is operating at half this thing. It's not operating at maximum, far below maximum, because people have taken their children out of the school. It's a sad situation.
Creek Road, for those who love history, is a cradle of industrialization in Nigeria. I mean, when the Hebrews, and they were the only industrialists, when they started on Creek Road. That's where industrialization in Nigeria started. And I took a walk on Creek Road. This was in 2014. And I found that on Creek Road, at least 50% of the property had been vacated or had a to let sign on them. I mean, I almost wept. What happened in Creek Road began to happen in the rest of Apapa, whether it was Liverpool, whether it was Park Lane, Point Road, Child Avenue, various areas in Apapa. People began to abandon their own houses to take rented apartments elsewhere in Apapa. We had a huge expatriate community that also began to exit Apapa. First, because of the traffic chaos, and then secondly, because of the insecurity that caused.
It wasn't so much of the overbearing commercial activity that worried residents. The defacing of the once well-revered and sought-after area becoming a nightmare is what did. Security has been compromised. The serenity which attracted the likes of the former Premier of Western Region, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, expatriates, had gradually bowed to the blustering noise from trucks, commercial buses, and motorcycles. Worrisome also is the uncontrolled human activity, and those who cross from Ajeromi follow the local government area through pathways like this into the GRA as a pass-through to other parts of Lagos has also changed the atmosphere of the popular Marine Road.
If you go to Marine Road, there is a canal from which cross people by boat into Marine Road. There's even a bridge from Ajegunle, Ajeromi local government, which cross people into Apapa. They need transport. So all the crossing points, you have about 6 crossing points. And when people cross, they want transport, either Danfo or Keke Marwa or Okada. Okada has been banned by Lagos, but all the Okada riders in Lagos now operate in Apapa. Why they could not be dislodged, nobody knows. Concert efforts have been made. Complaints have been made to the police, even to the governor. In 2011, Apapa residents decided to take Lagos State to court. And we won the case in 2013. Letters have been written to the government to implement the statutory laws. We won the case that Lagos State should be compelled to get the laws, to implement the statutory laws governing Apapa GRA, as it governs Ikoyi, as it governs Ikeja. Even the new GRAs like Magodo, Park Lane, they don't suffer what we. They are far better off than we are in Apapa. Why Lagos State is not doing something, I don't know.